So yeah, I love it. I love when he does that, and he does the exact same thing in practice, right? Sometimes things might break out a little bit. Be the first one in there protecting you guys, and then we're going to protect him too. So I love it.
Does he chirp the defense then in practice too?
Yeah, especially in camp. It was more so during camp. He'd get after our guys a little bit. It was the first time I've ever seen a quarterback in a brawl before, so it was pretty cool. I love it.
It's a brawl. Like what happened there?
I can't even remember the play. I think he was going towards the corner of the end zone. He got hit a little bit. Next thing you know, everybody just swarms protecting their quarterback. Yeah, that's all I can remember. It's pretty funny though.
It's a bold move for a guy who shows up in June though, kind of announcing his presence with authority like that. What were those first days and weeks of, I think transfer portal probably changes things on how people view players, but he was on the other sideline 6 months ago, and now here he is competing to be the guy.
I think that's the cool thing about him coming here, right? You can get offered a whole bunch of money to go to a lot of other places, but when you come here, you're not going to be guaranteed anything but an opportunity to go out there and play. And he embraced what it means to be an Iowa Hawkeye, and he does it at such a high level, and he plays with so much passion. And that's the kind of guy we want. We want a physical guy who plays hard and is competitive. And he's brought that since day one, and that's who he's been. That's his identity. And we've seen that in the games he's played this past game. Right? And he's going to continue to do that because he's just a competitor and he loves to win.
I think it was after the game, Coach Lester went up to Brendan and said, "Man, I'm so proud of you."
Mm-hmm.
I guess, is that kind of the sentiment around the guys around him too in the offensive line for guys that like him and enjoy being around him? I guess, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was just awesome to see him step in there, and nothing changed, right? You got a quarterback who practices with so much intensity, and he does things the right way. You see it in practice. So come Saturday, like when Cade got hurt, which sucked, but Brendan's going to step in and do a great job just because he practices that way. That's his mindset. That's the way he does things, and that's who he is, right? So when he came in, you want to play for a guy like that. He brings so much energy and effort and intensity to everything he does. It's just easy to want to play for a guy like that.
What's his presence like in the huddle?
It was actually kind of funny. He was running around so much. He was getting pretty tired, but I remember he tried to say play. Nobody understood anything because he was just so freaking tired. That was pretty funny. But he brings a great presence. Just so much energy, like I said. Like he just, oh man, ultra competitor, right? Like he said, like he just wants us to go and play with high tempo, and it's just so cool. And you want to play for a guy like that.
How'd you grade his block on the Pascusi run?
Oh, I loved it. He put him to the ground. And, that's awesome. You don't see quarterbacks do that very often. So to see him sprint out there and chase our tight end down and get in front of him, it was awesome. I love that.
Does that inspire you guys? Because you see, hey, my quarterbacks running down there doing that.
I think anytime you see a quarterback or skill position, trying to make a block, especially a quarterback because you don't see it very often. But you see him sprinting down there, it's like, dang, you want to play for a guy like that, and then you got to go get yours, right? So yeah, it definitely inspires a lot of us.
At what point, from the time he got here, did you realize he kind of had that, that kind of dog to him?
Yeah, I think as soon as I can't remember when he got here. Was it the summer? Summer, right?
June.
Yeah, so I think as soon as we started playing real football, fall camp, you saw, who he was and what kind of player he was, and he plays with so much effort and intensity, and he brought that every single practice, right? He just plays so hard, and he wants to be a good football player, and I think that's the coolest thing, because he's going to practice well, play at a high level, and, that motivates everybody else around him.
As Brendan, as a quarterback, even if you're not a starter, you have to kind of establish yourself a little bit as a leader. Have you seen Brendan establish